Hello, how you doing? This is a short video I'm going to do about adding random colors to your website. Your background colors, any colors actually. When your page is first open, if you want a different color based on just a random selection, that's what this is about, and this is what I'm going to show you. What I've done is I've made a basic page here. It's just a hello world page. How about some colors? So let me move my notepad over and I'll show you how I put this together. I went ahead and just put a very basic page together, HTML tags and all that. I figured I'd save the time of all the typing. But here's what's different, and here's how you can make random colors in here. We're going to take this out and leave this for the moment with just the basic HTML document. Now your document at some point is probably going to look something like this, minus some of the other stuff that I've got in here. You're going to have an HTML tag, a head tag, and this is just so you can see this thing refreshing. That's not necessary. But what is necessary in order to make a background color is the style element. Now normally this would be off in a CSS sheet by itself, but there's no rule that says that you have to put that in its own CSS sheet. You can just keep it right in your document. You can just, instead of referring to your CSS sheet, you can take the body element out of your CSS sheet, use the tag style type equals text CSS, and then put your body element right there. And you'll see here you have a background color within your body element, and then you have your closing style tag. And the rest is just your HTML document. And in this case I've centered the word hello world and put it in H3 headline, and then under that I've done a break and how about some color. So it's a very basic page that you see here, and it really has almost nothing on it. It's just hello world, how about some color. So how do we get some color in there? Now what I've done is I've got my on one of my websites I've got a back-end page that has a color wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pick a background color, just any old nuisance color. How about an ugly lime green? That's good. Okay. So you can find these color wheels all over the web. In fact, I might just put one up on the front of my website so that people can use it. And yeah, I think I might do that. But anyway, if I haven't put a link in yet, then just go ahead and look on the web and just do a search for online color picker or something like that. Okay, I'm going to change my background color. I've copied the color of that pukey green, and I'm going to put that in here. And I'm going to hit Control Save, and I'm using Notepad++ by the way. So also I will want to FTP that up to my server, and that is color PHP. So there's your basic background color right there. Let me find this document, and then when I refresh it you'll see this pukey green in the background. So alright, now I've got a single color. So let's say I wanted to stick with this green, and that's great. But what if I wanted to switch that out? What if I wanted to, every time this page refreshed or every time someone visited it, what if I decided I wanted a different color in there at each and every time? Well, that's where this actually I have lost that, so let me grab it from somewhere else that I know I have it. Hang on just a second. Okay, I had cut that to paste it, and then I ended up cutting and pasting this green color that I used instead, and I lost the cut and paste thing. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to add a little PHP to our document. So we're going to drop this down, and we're going to add a PHP tag which goes like this. Use the less than, greater, whatever, PHP. And then to close that PHP tag, all your PHP has to run in the block in between this, and it's just, that's what you use right there to close it. Now I'm going to get rid of that because I've already cut and pasted that from the other location, and it already has the PHP. So basically what we're going to do now is we're going to use this 3 lines of code, and I'll put this down in the comments section here, and I'll also put a couple of sample colors into the array so that you can see how they're formatted. Anyway, what you have is input equals array, and then in parentheses you're going to have your colors. And then what you have is this line right here, random keys or rand keys equals array rand, and then input comma 2. I don't know exactly what the significance of the comma 2 is. I looked it up on the PHP manual, and I didn't really feel like spending all week dealing with it. I just wanted random colors on my site, so I just put this in there like it is and switched up their code a little bit in other ways. Now, yeah, that's supposed to say color. It says something else on my other page. Anyway, equals input random keys and then the key of 0. That's not real important if all you're doing is trying to change colors in a random way on your site. What is important though is this is where your colors are going to go in here, and I'll show you how that works. You just put quotations around the color, and in this case I'm going to use this color here as one of my colors, and I'll paste that in, Control V, and then you do comma and then another set of parentheses or quotations. We're gonna use 4 for this. Okay, so I'm gonna just set that up 4 times, and you don't put a comma after the last one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let's go back to our color wheel and find another color. Or yeah, there we are. Multiple blended example. Okay, yeah. Let's do a kind of a tealish blue. I like that color, so what I'll do is I'll just go down to the bottom here and I'll copy that, and then I just open my notepad up again and paste this into here, and we do that 3 times and or whatever, and we're golden. 3 more. So we'll take this kind of purplish color here and copy and paste that in. That'll be our 3rd. And you can do as many of these as you want to. The more you do, the more randomization you're going to get. Let's do something. I forget what that one was. I thought it was kind of a green. Let's do a kind of a deep blue. Not quite that deep. That's deep enough. And then we copy that one, and now we got a little bit of coding to do. So we're going to go ahead and paste that in here. So now we have our 4 colors. So how do we deal with this right down here? Well, that's pretty easy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, all we want is one of these colors, which you can see I've highlighted both of these. So this is the color here, but we want one of these 4, and all 4 of these are just going to be random. So what we're going to do is put a little PHP code in there like we did up above. So I'm just going to put a PHP block here, and I'll put the closing tag in too while I'm down there. Now in between, what we're going to put is we're going to space, and then we're going to type echo, ECHO, and we're going to take this variable here of color, which this variable is taking these different array bits, and it's making a random decision on those arrays. So what we're going to do is we're going to take string color, and then we put a semicolon after that and a space, and that's pretty much it. So that now I'm going to hit save, and I have to FTP it up to my server real quick, which I'm going to do right now, color PHP, and overwrite the last one. And now, oh, this meta refresh that I did, this is so that the page refreshes at a particular interval, which is seconds, and I'm gonna go ahead and set that for 5, and then that way you can see what happens as I do the refreshing. And also the nice thing about the meta refresh, if you want to use that meta refresh tag, that'll refresh your page if you have any type of content that maybe changes or anything like that. So as soon as I refresh this page, the color should change, and then it should change again. Or, well, since I've only got 4 in there, maybe it, there we go. sometimes it picks the same color time after time. That's why it's better to have a whole bunch of colors in there. But anyway, it seems to kind of be stuck on those two colors. But as we give it 5 seconds, you'll see it changes, and then of course it did not change the color that time. Let's see if it, and it's not changing it that time. So sometimes this random function isn't all that random. Okay, there's a change. And then we give it a couple of seconds and it should change up again. But anyway, the more colors you have in there, the more likely it is to have a random effect. And I'll show you the page that there we're finally getting a little randomization in there. But you can see where if you put about 20 different shades and colors, it would change every single time. But let me show you real quick. Yeah, where I'm using this. I'm using it on a page that I have that tells me it reports on a database process. And so I have it as a background, and I have my refresh set up once every 5 minutes on this page. And as I'm working on my other screen, I like to know when the page has refreshed and given me new information. So as you can see, I've got about 10 or so different color backgrounds in this. So this has a better chance of changing the randomization. The less of them you have, the less chance you're going to get of having that random number changed as frequently. But that's how you do it, and I'll just open this notepad up one more time. And also this meta refresh, that's good to have. I'm recording this in high def, so you should be able to figure this one out. And if you want to know more about tags like this, then you just search refresh tag. PHP is a very good thing that you can use in your web pages. There is one other thing you have to do with this web page. You cannot save it as an HTML page. You have to save it as, see how I've saved up here, color.php. You have to use the PHP extension. That way your server will recognize that this is PHP and will process it. The nice thing about PHP is it's server side. Nobody can read what's between here and here. And when they look at the source code of your page, they're not going to see this either. They're just going to see the color that's up there. And I'll demonstrate that by going to the source code real quick of this page. Let me go back to the one that we were using there. So let's see, view page source. That's going to open on the other side of my screen. So I got to pull that over. There you go. Windows 7 and the new Firefox doesn't want to seem to cooperate. So let me see if I can zoom this. Yeah. Okay, this is your page source, and what people are going to see. All they're going to see is the HTML, and you'll notice they're not seeing the PHP tag here. They're just seeing the color. So that's what's kind of cool about PHP. And as you can see, it just renders as an HTML document, but you do have to save it with the PHP extension. That's the only problem, or I don't consider it a problem because I code every page that I do in some kind of PHP and stuff. But that's how you do random backgrounds, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please thumbs up and subscribe, and visit my website at lenfarnath.com for a lot of great new tips and stuff. And I'll try and get a color wheel up there hopefully in the next couple of days that everyone can use. Thanks, and have a great time.